tell you, this little Petite Lancero, very good, man. Very good. It may be... I've smoked quite a few of the black blends. I smoked the Lancero, which was after this. I like that. I like the Lancero, but, you know, maybe I smoked 6 or 7 of them when they came out. I didn't really save any. If I don't save some cigars, you know, a lot of times I'll save them if I think they'll get better with aging, and they probably would have, but at that point I have so many Tatuaje cigars already that it just didn't blow me away so much that I said, let me save a few of these. You know, I smoked the original, which was dynamite, but it was just so long ago, 7+ years ago, that, you know, I really can't make a fair comparison at this point. So much nostalgia, so much lore, so much mythos. I keep using these words because those type of things surround a cigar, and it is a two-edged sword. It really is. You know, in one way, it makes the cigar popular, the brand popular, everything, you know. But then, when you have consecutive releases or later releases following the original cigar, the nostalgia. There's so much nostalgia that no matter how good the blend gets, you just, you know, it's unfair. People online now will be saying the new release will come out and they'll go, it's great, but it's not the original black. When's the last time you smoked a fucking original black? You know what I mean? I mean, the memory is only so sharp, is only so vivid as to the point, especially when it comes to flavor, you know, and taste. Taste is a very unique sense. It's in a world of its own. I mean, every sense is, really, but I say it would be very hard to take. Plus the fact that the original black was a brand new experience. It's the first thing. You ever hear of, like, chasing the dragon? You know, the first time is the best time, and every time after that, you're always looking for that initial, you know, pow, that rush, that bang. But you never get it. Why? Because you've already experienced it. You know? Like skydiving. I guess jumping out of a plane. The first time you do it, ho-ho! The 10th time is not going to be like as good as the first time. It might be as good, but, you know, it's not going to be that same brand new, sparkling experience, you know? Anyway, so I think it would, at this point, when we look at the new black, and I'm just talking for myself here. Every other reviewer in the world can do whatever they want. Don't start screaming at me. But I think it would be very unfair to smoke the cigar and say, it's great, you know, especially if it's good. If it's bad, that's a whole nother story. But let's say it's so good that it's scoring like 94, 95, whatever, even 93, and they say, it's a fantastic cigar, absolutely amazing, but it's just not the original. I don't know about that. Anyway, this little cigar, the Petite Lancero, like I said, unbelievable, unbelievable. Right now, you know, a lot of Nicaraguan cigars, and I've said this before, they start out with a bang, great first third flavor, and then all of a sudden they just kind of wash out into this kind of nutty, you know, there's less of everything, and then the flavors become a little muddled, and at the end, it just becomes like, you know, a mess. You know, and that happens with a lot of powerful Nicaraguan cigars. This, however, not at all. Not at all. I'll tell you, flavors have toned down a little, but if anything, they're becoming more complex. What I'm getting now, that I don't know what it is exactly, I'll get to that, but what I'm getting now, a lot of leather, and the black pepper has become very, very pronounced, really peppery. Yes, there's spice. Spice is actually starting to return as we're a little past the midway point, you know, starting to go second, third point, and spice is returning a little more heavily, but the taste, the actual flavor, especially through the nose, I'm just getting a lot of black pepper, a lot of pepper, really, really nice. Oaky, it's becoming very oaky. The salt has not really diminished, you know, and that's one of the problems with a lot of Nicaraguan cigars. That salty flavor that I've come to love from Nicaraguan cigars. Second, third, it starts to wash out. It becomes really, some of them become flat out bland, hot and bland. Black pepper everywhere. Leather, black pepper, salt. oakiness. You know, that musky aroma is still there. It's just a dynamite little cigar. Really good little cigar. There's a harshness that's returning also to the pharynx that I was talking about before. And it's just like this peppery, burning feeling. But it's not bad. It's strange. It's almost like as if I want it to be there. You know, it's like with this cigar, it just goes along with everything else so well that, you know, some people might call me crazy, but I just won't consider it, you know, actual bad harshness that shouldn't be there. You know, it's that type of cigar. Hard to wrap words around it. The last thing I'll say is about this starting to get ready to get into the third. I guess we're just doing our second third right here. There's this constant buzz at the tip of my tongue every time I take a pull. And at the end of the last part, second part, I tried to describe it badly and said it was like sticking my tongue on a 9-volt I'm just trying to say it's electrical, it's effervescent. That's what it is. That might be the best word to describe it. It's almost as if I have my tongue, the tip of my tongue, sticking in a glass of seltzer. You know, not flavor-wise, just that bubbly, tingly, stingy feeling at the tip of the tongue. And I don't get that with a lot of cigars. It seems very unique to this cigar right here. I don't remember the last time I felt something like that. But that's the word I'll use, effervescent. This cigar is effervescent. And it's funny because that's more of a word I would use to describe, you know, more bubbly, sharp, bubbly, but, you know, sharper, you know, maybe light, you know, I don't even know. It's just strange. It's a strange combination. So, once I start talking like that, it catches it's like a latch in my head that realizes that, wow, this cigar has a decent amount of complexity to it. That's how you know. You know, a lot of people, what is a complex cigar? How do you say, well, this cigar is complex, this cigar isn't? Well, a cigar is complex to me when it starts to make me think, and when it starts to reveal things that I have a hard time putting into words. That is complexity. That's the literal definition of the word. You tell somebody, I'd like to describe it to you, but it's a bit complex. It's hard to describe. You know, so that's what's going on here. I'm going to remove our band now because I don't want to smoke that. And, you know, lately, you may have noticed I've been doing a little, trying to do some little artsy photos to stick in the middle of episodes, keep things, you know, moving along, a little extra interest and stuff like that. Oh, don't fail me now. I don't want to. You know what? Maybe I can. Oh no, that's a bad idea. Oh boy. Perfect ashtray shot right there. Let me get this band off. There we go. There we go. So I'm starting to get into the last third here. Smoke is heating up. Definitely warming up. Partially my fault because I'm smoking on this thing like there's no cigar tomorrow. It's that good. That effervescent feeling I was just talking about is really picking up. Very tingly, very sharp, pronounced feeling at the tip of the tongue. Very, very peppery feeling going on at the back of the pharynx. And overall, the mouth is just excited. I mean, taste buds everywhere are going crazy. It's a lot of oakiness building up now. A lot of oakiness. Some more leather, some more black pepper. But man, I haven't had a foul taste, you know, even a hint of a bad note throughout this cigar. No bitterness, no greenness, no youngness, no ammonia, no nothing. And for a Nicaraguan cigar this strong, you know, sure it's had a couple of years, but you know, no amount of time that's gonna take a cigar that's green and harsh and turned it into something this good. So, you know, this cigar was never really green to begin with when it came out. I made a point to say in the description somewhere, sometimes I write extra things in the descriptions if you guys want to read them or not, but sometimes I go into detail about the brand and what's going to be talked about in the episode. And I said somewhere, this is a good choice for us to revisit the black before we do the newest one that came out. And why? Because we don't have the original, but we want something close to. Well, obviously any black would be the same blend, but since the original is so, like everybody says, there is no black as good as that one, we want to get our hands on one that at least people, you know, came the closest to saying, you know, wow, 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 raving about it. And when I looked online, the Petite Lancero got good reviews, hands down, all over the place. Saw a lot of good scores, a lot of high scores, even by some sites, which are very stingy with their scores, man, you know, and I tend to be too, I feel, except I don't do a complex, like, 1 point by 1 point system. I like to keep it a little more simple, you know, and we go on our 9 points by point here, point there, and try to keep all the, you know, 92, 93, 94, you know, try to keep that out of it. I mean, you know, cigars a 9 or cigars a 9.5 or cigars a 10. I think that's sufficient for our purposes anyway. But overall, I've had a lot of fun doing this episode. I gotta say that. A lot of fun smoking this cigar. A lot of fun revisiting the black. Something I may not have done in a while if it were not for this new release. And I was very glad to remember that, oh wow, I have a bunch of these little Petite Lanceros tucked away. That's why I like to do that. You know, that's why you can't keep everything. You can't have everything. But, you know, I like to try to keep cigars that I think, you know, they fit my profile, of course, stuff that I like to smoke, and stuff that I think will be good years from now. And, you know, I hit it on the nail with this little guy. I just had a feeling, you know. I mean, well, we talked about the accident here, but the point is that even after I got this and I smoked almost all of them, I said, you know what, let me take a good, you know, 5, 6 cigars, put them in a baggie, put them away. That's exactly what I did. After this guy here, I've got 4 left. And this is really good, to the point that, you know, how good? Well, if I came across somebody selling a box of these Petite Lanceros, I would probably buy it. I would probably buy it. Of course, price is a consideration. I wouldn't spend $500 on it, you know. But this is what we're talking about. Like, we just did the La Inception. Strong, spicy, you know, that type of profile. If you like the black, you'll like the Inception, or vice versa, in a lot of different ways. But you have one cigar that's, you know, $600 a box, and then you have a cigar here, which is like, I think I paid something around like something in the $200 range. You know, it was like standard pricing. And I mean, I don't know. Is this cigar is so good? Is that La Inception worth the extra $400 or the extra $300? You know, it's very subjective, of course, and there are a lot of little nuances and issues that come into play when one's deciding, well, yeah, it is, or no, it isn't. You know, but I don't know. I can't say for sure yes or no. I just know I want both. You know, that's... Starting to nub now. I gotta say, the last third is extremely strong. It's like a wallop, you know. Wow, that's some heavy duty strength right here, man. I'm gonna see how strong this is and go into it, but that's strong. That's strong. Becoming very hot, of course, you know, which does dissipate the flavors a little. Not getting any bitterness, getting a lot of flavors that I associate with heat. You know, more when Nicaraguan cigars start to get hot, I get a lot of those almondy flavors in the back of the tongue. You know, which is good because they replace bitter flavors. But yeah, a lot of almondy flavors, a lot of leather, a lot of pepper, and starting to become a little woody. You know, very oaky. You know, I wouldn't call it so earthy anymore. It's so strong that it's actually a tiny bitter at the tip of the tongue now. Basically, what happened from the end of the second third into the third third, that effervescent feeling at the tip of my tongue started really waking up, and it was interesting to feel it go from that feeling I'm describing back into the realm of really spicy. So spice came back a lot, you know, and then, you know, the salt starts dropping off. Lasted, I would say the salt, that good salty flavor, you know, lasted through 90% of the cigar. Started dropping off with the heat and was replaced by a lot of these almondy, woody flavors. And you know what? I'm going to rephrase that. The tip of the tongue, I wouldn't call it bitter. I would call it tarry. You know, that's what it is. And it's just so strong at this point that, you know, the way you have to draw on it when you're nubbing, and it just hits right in the tip of the tongue, and it's a very tarry effect. Smoke is starting to feel thick, you know. Yeah, but look at, that's a good roll. I mean, look at that. Even with this pinch on a 38 ring gauge, these clouds of smoke I'm getting from nubbing this thing. This is a nice nub. This is a nice nub. I have to say, not one touch up, not one relight, nothing went wrong with this smoke. It's just through and through burned perfectly even. Great draw. I've come to expect nothing less from Tatuaje, but this is just top of the line construction right here. Top of the line. Spicy, starting to get that fiery feeling in the back of my lips, you know, when you start nubbing stuff like this. Happened with the La Inception. You know, it's the inside of my lips are on fire. Whew, wow. Oh boy. This is strong. This is stronger than the La Inception, that's for sure. At the end here. Oh, I would almost say it's almost a little unbalanced. It's almost like, you know, first third, second third, you know, nice and level, graduated into an area of headiness that I would have liked to stay at. And this last third here is just packed with Ligero or whatever, is just like knocking me on my ass. But I still keep smoking it. Well, I have to. I'm reviewing it. I want to get everything I can out of it. It's very good, though. It's very good. It's going to score high, probably about a 9. You know, I think appearance, draw, construction, burn, all got a 1. Pre-draw flavor, 1. Amazing pre-draw flavor. Overall flavor, I was almost going to say, you know, the flavor for a Nicaraguan cigar is perfect. Just right here at the very end, you might knock off a quarter, just, you know, and not for the nub, I wouldn't do that, but I'm saying it started to get a little tarry, you know, in the middle of this last third, so. But it's hard to have this amount of strength without getting things like that, you know. Everything is kind of like flattening out, you know. I wouldn't say it's washing out, or, you know, it's just, but it's flattening out. Like even the aroma now, it's very woody and sweet. You know, that musky, pungent smell that I really liked is kind of gone. I think think I'm at my limit here. Shouldn't have cut my nails. Well, that's about it. You know, out. I'm going to put this out. That was good. That was good, my friends. That was good. I am so looking forward to the black right now, you know. But what I can say, the Petite Lancero is fantastic. If you can get some, get some. If you don't have some, don't worry. You can get the new one coming out. I'm sure it won't be bad, you know. I don't think Pete would even let the cigar cut. 10,000 jars of bad cigars, it would cripple the reputation. It would be a really bad blow. I think it's going to be a great cigar. I'm really looking forward to it. Power-wise, you know, I'm so used to smoking Cubans now that, wow, the end of this thing just kicked my ass. And if the Corona Gorda is anything like this, you know, but stronger because of its size, wow, it's going to be a powerhouse, a real powerhouse. But we shall see, because that review will be coming up soon. Whatever it is, I'm sure if you're watching now and you like this, you'll love what's coming up. Stay tuned. We're going to just do our final rating and a few snapshots, you know, to artsy it up. And that's all. Overall, I'm very happy with this cigar. I'm very happy with the blend. And if the new one coming out is even, you know, not this good, but just like, you know, it'll still be great. This was great. This was great. You know, 7 years later, 2007, 2014, I can't compare this to the original anymore. I just can't. I don't remember. You know, this was fantastic. So, there you have it. Get those jars, my friends. 190 bucks. You won't regret it. Let's wrap it up. Well, and there we have it. That was a strong cigar. Wow. Man, this seriously does not disappoint. I mean, really lives up to its name. I mean, people always say really strong, really full. Yeah, that's what this cigar is. Tatuaje Black Petite Lancero. Amazing. Amazing cigar. I couldn't find anything wrong with it in so many areas that it just has to score high. Appearance, construction, draw, burn, all of one, perfect. Great experience, no problems, never went out, never burned bad, everything was just fine. Construction, obviously great because it just pulled great, burnt great, period. Beautiful looking cigar. You know, like all Tatuajes, not overdressed, but certainly not underdressed, and just rolled exceptionally well. Beautiful wrapper. Pre-draw flavor, perfect one. Absolutely great, dynamite, dynamic, powerful pre-draw. A lot of notes, a lot of complexity. Overall flavor, 1.75. I swear, if it wasn't for the very end and the tarriness and the, you know, overwhelming strength, and probably would have got just a 2. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to say anything bad about it. But just for that, gets a little bit kicked off the end, 1.75. Aroma, I gave Aroma a perfect 1. The aroma was outstanding. One of the nicest I've experienced recently smoking all these cigars with you guys. Very sweet, pungent, you know, a lot of cedar, a lot of floral notes, just very, very, a complex aroma also, you know, not just this single note, straightforward aroma. It was very, very, very intense. Balance, 0.75, again, whooped my ass at the end, you know. Everything was going fine, going perfectly through, rising steadily, and then at that end right there, you know, halfway through the last third, I was just like, holy crap, man, knocked me on my ass. Complexity, 0.75, quite a complex cigar for such a young cigar. It's all, you know, it's still under 3 years old. Not a lot has happened age-wise. Maybe some amplification of flavors and aroma maybe a little added sweetness, some weeding out of any type of flavors that might have been bitter or harsh. But you know, it can only go so far, and the complexity is already over the top. And so overall rating, 9.25. There is just no way I could have taken a point away in any category for any reason elsewhere. So this is officially our highest rated cigar. Although we are young, 21 reviews in, we have rated quite a few highly rated cigars as far as other opinions are concerned. And for me personally, this cigar just gets the score it deserves. It's really that good. Great, great cigar. If you like strong, powerful, full flavor, full strength cigars, and I mean full strength, then you will love the Tatuaje Black Petite Lancero, if you can get them. But like I said, worry not, this same blend is coming back again soon in its original format, the Corona Gorda. 190 bucks, 19 cigars, jar included. How can you go wrong? So, that wraps it up. Final rating in hand. I hope everybody out there has a good bearing on whether or not the Tatuaje Black coming out, or that is out, available online now, is for them. Like I said, 190 bucks, man. You know, 10 bucks a cigar. Pretty much a blend that will be legendary if it's not already considered so. I mean, it's just kind of young, 10 years to be saying it's legendary, but that's the direction it's headed. If there's any Tatuaje Black release that you should get your hands on, it's probably the one out now, as it celebrates the 10th anniversary and is in the original format as the original. So do go get that quick if you can. 10,000 jars sounds like a lot, but I guarantee you they won't be around for long. This was a great smoke. This was a great smoke. And you know how I know it's a great smoke? Well, for so many reasons. But I was thinking one of the biggest things the entire time, you know, we're talking about this new jar coming out and the original release, and for me, it really didn't take away from concentrating on the Petite Lancero as well. Absolutely fantastic blend. You know, at times I forgot that's what I was smoking. You know, it's almost as if I might as well have been smoking an original. For, like I said, 7 years ago, how can one really remember if this Petite Lancero is better than or not as good as the Corona Gorda? I don't know. But that is that. Cohiba review coming up. Thank you so much for watching. 600 subscribers and growing. And I owe you my thanks. Thank you all. Keep on smoking. Say goodnight, Max.